Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I am going to be talking through my thought process and explaining why I am making all of the decisions that I am making as a Pyromancer in Dungeonborne. So this is going to be a guide on how to PvP as a Pyromancer. So here, I hear this person beneath. I start off with a fully charged fireball because I hear them. Then I follow up with two, I don't know, like beams of the searing stuff because that's very, very powerful. And now I'm just chasing them through. Through here rather. So I charge up a fireball, or I start charging it up, and then I realize they're actually just around the corner. And instead of charging it, I just let loose 3 baby fireballs, which still do a lot of damage and have pretty decent tracking, even after the recent nerf to them. Which it would nerf the tracking range, but they're still pretty good. So in that fight, I just had the element of surprise on the opponent, which is always super duper mega powerful. Like, not knowing someone is in a certain location when they don't know that you're also there is very, very powerful, and you're going to want to use that for any class. But it is also especially powerful for the Pyromancer because it allows you to charge up a very, very powerful fireball to kind of start off the fight with and kind of get the enemies to start running away, which gives you the opportunity to push. In this second fight here, I see a Pyromancer out of the corner of my eye, kind of at the top left corridor. I'm not too sure if they spotted me or not, so I replenish my mana so that I can instantly charge a fireball and instantly have the kind of mana on replenishing itself straight away. And I do also have plenty of mana potions. They did see me because they had a fireball charged. I hurl one at them, it hits, they hurl one at me, and it misses. So now I have the advantage because I am able to push them. Even if theirs hit me though, I probably still could have pushed if I wanted to because we would have been on the same health. So I'm trying to wrap around here. I don't think they were expecting this. I crouched to try and be silent. I start off with 3 fireballs, follow up with the staff. 3 fireballs, follow up with the, another 3 fireballs apparently, and then I follow up with the staff. And they are dead. So your fireballs have like a, I'm not too sure what the exact number is, but it's like a 1 or like a 1.5 second cooldown on it, even if it's a fully charged one. So a very, very good way to deal loads of damage extraordinarily quickly is to fireball, follow up with like a little bit of your staff. Not the full combo though. You can do the full combo if you want, but just spamming the fireball is probably going to be your priority. So fireball, staff, fireball, staff, fireball, staff, until you're like completely out of mana or until you win the fight. And that's what happened there. They didn't really spam their fireballs enough. I was not really that low at the end of that fight, so I was able to just win. And also hitting my big chargy fireball at the start of that fight was very good as well, because it did allow me to push. And also in that fight, using the element of kind of surprise, I don't think they expected me to wrap around there. So having map knowledge or just being able to kind of navigate on your mini map really quickly is extraordinarily beneficial as well. Being able to tell where the opponent has gone and then being able to try and cut them off on your own is very, very powerful. In this one, I hear someone through this door, and so I simply start opening it. I know they're going to hear me as soon as I open it, so I instantly try and beam them a little bit with my staff, and then fire orb, and then staff, and now I don't know where they are, so I start charging my fireball in case they stayed in the smoke, but they didn't, so as soon as they came out, again, I just spammed the fireballs, and then I finished them off with the staff, and they were dead. There's really not a whole lot to that one. It's pretty much just fireball, staff, fireball, staff, fireball, staff, but that is extremely powerful. It's like very, 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 very powerful, especially in solo. Sometimes in teams, there's a little bit too much going on to be able to effectively kind of take one enemy out. But in solos, the Pyromancer is very, very good if they're in the right hands. In the next match here, I am using the element of surprise again. I see them coming down the stairway. I quickly get around the corner. Not too sure if they saw me or not, and I stand up because if they did see me, I obviously want faster movement speed to do what I'm doing. And then I hear them attacking your rat, so I go back to crouching. So it's good to constantly be changing kind of how you're going to play the fight, depending on how the enemies react to whether or not they've seen you. So at first I thought he saw me, so I was standing up so I would have full movement speed. Then I realized they're attacking the enemy, so they probably didn't see me, so I'm crouching. What I'm trying to do here is wait for him to finish attacking the enemy so that I can push. I do a little peek, I don't think he saw me there, and I see there's still one rat. As soon as I hear him attacking that rat, that's when I go for it, because A, he's probably going to be looting, and B, there's going to be less kind of clutter in the area for when I go to push. You don't want to push when there's lots of enemies, because sometimes they'll aggro onto you, and that's not going to be good. And you'll see here, I guess he was low from that other fight. I fireballed him once and then finished him off. It was very, very, very easy. Did they have heals? They had a bandage, so they did have heals. So I guess that ratchet's got them low. So again, element of surprise, especially when your enemies are kind of fighting something already, is going to be very, very good to use in pretty much every situation if the opportunity presents itself. So in this last fight, we are playing duos here. I am using voice chat with a teammate, and I recognize this spawn location, and then it kind of dawns on me as soon as I start opening this chest that there might be people by that tent. So then there are people by that tent because that's where another spawn location is, so, you know, having map knowledge and spawn knowledge is very valuable. It allows me to start off this fight with a fireball. I do ping the location as well. Always very, very good to ping stuff, even if you are using voice chat, because it's just going to mean that your teammates know what's going on and they're going to have a little bit more of a precise understanding of the situation. So I start off with a fully charged fireball and then just staff, fireball, and I finish them off with the staff because I kind of thought they might be getting low. They were. I used my E ability here while kind of turning back to my teammates, so they would have to push into both of us if they wanted to kill me, but I did also use my E to push them further away, because obviously I don't want them there. I used a healing potion. Teammate has been healing me a bunch as well, which is always super useful. I see them coming close again, but then they're not, so I start pushing them again. Use my searing staff, and then I'm going to charge up a fireball, hit them with that, and then I'm going to probably try and push them while they're hiding behind this tree. They're trying to hide behind it, so I can't hit them, but little do they know I'm fully charging a fireball, which I'm going to unleash onto them, and I am going to... I thought I killed them there, which is why I looked behind me, but I didn't actually kill them. They ended up getting over there quite quickly, but now I am going to end up finishing them off with a E attack. I think I did that with an E attack, which is quite funny because that does not do much damage. But yeah, just staff, fireball, push the enemy when they're low. If someone gets close to you, you do want to use your E ability as well. That's going to be like very, very important. If someone gets close to you, use your E. And you'll see that when they started coming close to me in the second kind of part of that fight, when I didn't have my E, I pushed back into my teammate because it's much easier to 1v1 someone than it is to 2v1 someone, right? So they tried to push me because I was kind of low, and so were they, so they tried to kind of risk the 1v1. And even though I didn't have my E ability, I just turned around, I held out a healing potion or something to run faster, and then I just went back to my teammate, because obviously it's going to be very, very hard to 2v1 and not so hard to 1v1, so I went back to my teammate, making it a 2v1. So yeah, there you go. I just thought I would throw in a teams one as well, just to kind of show you how it would differ. I guess it was pretty much the same situation though, but my teammate was just healing me, and I was kind of very ready to kind of take the fight to my teammate and for us to 2v1 them as well. But the start of that fight went very, very well. Again, element of surprise paired with map knowledge and spawn point knowledge is very, very valuable, so I was able to start off that fight and get one of the enemies low. It would have been better if I got two of them low, but I got one of them low. And yeah, there you go. So all in all, I do think the Pyromancer is pretty powerful, but I will say they're much easier to use effectively in solos than they are in teams. And it does kind of depend on who you go up against, and it does kind of depend on how good you are. But I think if you're good, you can definitely make the Pyromancer work in solos. And in teams, I think if there's only one Pyromancer, it's going to be a little bit awkward to make it worthwhile. However, if you're in teams and you've got like a 2 Pyromancers or 3 Pyromancers, that's going to be extraordinarily annoying. So I find, even though it's a little bit weird, I find in solos, they're quite good. You have to know what you're doing, but I think they're very good in solos. In duos, if there's only one Pyromancer, or in teams, let's say, if there's only one Pyromancer, I think they're okay. Sometimes there's a little bit too much going on for them to be worthwhile, especially in those kind of close quarters fights where lots of people have different abilities, so you can't use your E for every single kind of person that comes charging towards you, which obviously isn't going to be ideal. But if you've got like 2 or 3 Pyromancers on your team, it's going to be an absolute nightmare to play against. There's really just not going to be a whole lot you can do, because they're going to be able to spam their knockbacks and spam their fireballs, and it's really just not going to be a great time. So yeah, there you go. I just wanted to kind of touch on where I thought they were in regards to kind of how good they are as well. And now I'm going to stop talking. So thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be it for this video. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Farewell.